You're watching the SCAC Spring Media Days. Today we're taking a look at the Trinity University track and field programs. The women coming off their fourth straight SCAC championship, while the men finished runner-up at the 2018 SCAC Track and Field Championships. The Tigers will be led once again heading into the season by head coach Marcus Whitehead, along with senior Blair Walker on the men's side and senior Abigail Bannon-Schneebeck on the women's side. And Coach Blair, Abby, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Coach, we'll start with you. You head into your seventh season as the head coach there at Trinity University. When you've taken inventory of those first 6 seasons, what have you learned over the course of that time that helps prepare you for this seventh season, and what do you enjoy most about the freshness and start of a new season?
Well, every year is a different group, even though we have a lot of returning faces, but different challenges, different personalities, different people, usually in leadership roles. So it's just kind of catering to their strengths, putting them in a position to succeed. And I think we have a real fun group this year. It's a good mix of young kids and upperclassmen. So we're looking forward to seeing what they can do when we get to the outdoor season.
Blair and Abby, Coach talks about each year being a new team and having new leadership responsibility. For the two of you being seniors on these teams, I would imagine that's a huge part of your role and responsibility going into this season. Kind of talk about your mindsets for the two of you as you head into your senior seasons and the leadership roles that each of you have sort of taken on as mentors in this team.
I think this year we have really tried to become more cohesive as a team. We've spent a lot more time together as a team, getting to know each other. I think we've gotten a lot better about our attitudes at practice and kind of encouraging each other to work hard, but also make sure we're all doing okay and working our hardest every day. And I think we can really see that the team is getting closer, and it makes practice more fun, and I'm sure it's going to make meets way more fun. So I think as seniors, we've done a pretty good job of kind of leading everyone to where we should be for the beginning of the season for a really strong start.
Cool. Blair, you have anything to add?
I felt that, as I've become an upperclassman, I've sort of had to, felt the need to, sort of police my own actions. I take things a little more seriously in practice now because, I guess I have to lead by example. So, got to make sure I'm setting a good example for the underclassmen.
Blair, as a returning all-conference performer from a season ago in the 4x400 relay, what have you continued to work on as far as your running improvement, your strengths, to make sure you're as prepared as you possibly can for your senior year in that mid-distance role that you have with this team?
The largest thing that I've been focusing on recently, obviously getting in shape is important, but the most crucial thing is just keep myself healthy. I'm extremely injury prone, and so it's a constant challenge to just keep my body in a state where I can run.
Abby, similar for you, you're coming off a junior season in which you earned all conference honors, winning the 1 and 400 meter hurdles. What is it about your training, your strengths that you really feel are going to help provide you a great table to put forth a great senior season? What have you been working on over the course of the offseason to get prepared for this year?
I think our training was a lot more intense this fall season, which was challenging but is already proving to be really helpful. We did a lot more endurance-based workouts, which I definitely had to adjust to. But even from the indoor season, just running the Open 4 indoors, I can tell that I'm already starting off with a way stronger base than I have in the past. So, like Blair, I'm just going to try to stay healthy and make it to the end of the season. Yeah.
Coach, you've brought in a big group of freshmen, particularly on the men's side. I think 15 in all on that men's program joined this team, 3 on the women's side, so 18 total. What is it about this freshman class that gives you confidence? I know freshmen provide their own challenges and their unique energy when they step into a program. So what have you seen from this group as you get prepared for this outdoor season that gives you confidence?
Yeah, I think this freshman group, we got a couple fearless kids in it. We've thrown some curveballs at them already the indoor season, telling people they run the anchor 30 seconds before the baton comes around to them, things like that. and they've handled it with that fearlessness that I like to see. So I just don't think they're going to really be afraid of the moment, and I really think they're going to contribute this year on a conference level and even in a few cases on a national level. So it's been really exciting to see their development, and it's going to be fun to see their continued growth through the outdoor season.
Blair, I mentioned the success you've had in a relay form over the past couple of years, earning all conference both as a sophomore and as a junior. What do you love about being a part of relay teams? Is there a different mindset for you when you enter an event as a relay participant as opposed to an individual?
Yeah, absolutely. I've always loved running relays. It's always been my favorite part of track. I don't know exactly why it feels so different, but just knowing that it's not necessarily like this pressure to, perform well because, you need to meet the expectations of your teammates. It's just the act of working together with a group of people to achieve that goal, achieve your marks, the time you're going for. It's just really exciting and a lot of fun.
Abby, obviously as a hurdler, it combines a unique sort of skill set from speed, but also strength as well. How do you balance your training out throughout the course of a week as a hurdler? You're going to continuing to try and strengthen your legs, work on your rhythm when it comes to those hurdling, and then also work on your speed as well. Where is that balance for you when it comes to your training?
It's mostly just a consistent training schedule each week. So I work a lot more on speed at the beginning, on Mondays usually. I do more 100 hurdle focused things, and then as the week goes on, I do more endurance based things with hurdles also. And we also lift weights 3 times a week, and I think I can definitely feel that strength impacting at least my short distance speed a lot. So I think having a consistent training program and making sure that we're separating the events by days really helps with that.
Coach, both of your programs have had a lot of success in recent years, and one of the things that stood out to me particular was the depth of each team, seeing all conference performances up and down, the roster on both the men's and women's side, and not just in the sprints or in the distances, but the throws and the field events as well, getting names up on that all-conference performance list. How important is that depth to this team's success on both sides, and how much is that a nod to your coaching staff as a whole to make sure you've got people prepared to put forth all conference performances, regardless of the event, because, it's a bunch of different skill sets having to come together for one team effort, and it impresses me.
Yeah. We've always, prided ourselves in having a real deep team. Last year we had 9 athletes go to nationals, and I think we had every event group represented there. Steeplechase, 4x1. We had a hurdler, 2 jumpers, a thrower. So it's kind of neat to see we bring quality in a lot of event areas. But it's nothing. I mean, we have a good coaching staff, but the kids, the student athletes are really focused, and it's a lot of them just putting a lot of hard work into it. And just people kind of filling in where they're needed. Blair's a good example. Not a lot of people know this. He came in as a freshman to run cross country. He was a distance runner. And last year he anchored our 4x1 team that went to nationals and broke the school record. So, things like that happen, and you bring in enough good athletes, and then you find out where they fit in best. Abby's another kid coming in, a hurdler, had a swimming background, and her marks were very solid. Especially for the great state of New Mexico, but. She's going to be a kid that last year she was on the cusp of going to nationals, and we think she's going to be right there this year too. So, I think it's just kind of more, we take a development approach, and we look at people's strengths, and we figure out where they can be in 4 years. And I always pick seniors for this. I wish I could have all my seniors up here with me. If you look at a lot of our seniors that are on the team currently this year, it's not just these 2, but we have several others that are going to be kind of in the mix for doing really big things, and it's cool to see their progress from freshman year, or really even their senior year in high school to senior year in college. So, yeah.
Coach, track to me uniquely than other team sports that traditionally there's a progression to the season that I think you as a head coach like to see, in the sense that if the first meet everyone's not putting up PRs, there's no reason to panic. There's that built-in allowance to continue to get better as the season goes on, in hopes that in April and at championship season you're running your absolute best. What are some things that you look for as a coach in terms of that progression that you like to see during the season that will give you confidence heading into the championship portion of the year that your team will be ready to go?
Well, it's kind of, we try to instill a mindset into them that we're trying to get a little bit better each day, getting a little bit better each week, and then also kind of looking back to compare where we've been. Sometimes people have pretty lofty goals, and they try to have a season best or a PR right off the bat. But it's difficult to kind of look back and you have to put things in perspective and realize that, your junior year, sophomore year, whatever, you were at this point at this stage of the training, but now you're this much further ahead. So we always try to kind of instill that mentality that you just have to get a little bit better each day, and then the coaches will take care of the rest as far as like making sure we're tapering properly. We're working with a strength coach now has also been awesome for our program. And we're all feel like as a staff we're all on the same page about where people need to be, and I feel good that from April to late May we're gonna be able to put up some really good marks in everything. So.
Blair and Abby, to wrap things up with the two of you, as you've had conversations with your teammates about some of the goals for this 2019 season, what have those conversations looked like, and what are some of those marks that each of you hope that your teams respectively will be able to hit as you head into the season?
I think pretty across the board, we're all most focused on winning conference. It can be pretty competitive between us and a couple other schools, and I think, I don't want to speak for the whole team, but I think it's pretty consistent that everybody is just most focused on doing whatever they need to do at the conference meet to make sure that we win this year.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the largest focus is on winning conference, generally speaking. But yeah, I know that a lot of the relay teams that I'm running with, the people in there, we're also trying to shoot a little higher than that. I know both the 4x1 and the 4x4 teams that I've been running on, we've been talking about, we want to break all the school records again. We want to make it to nationals. We want to go as far as we can. Those may be, lofty goals like Coach was mentioning, but I think if we continue to put in the work, we can get there.
Finally, Coach, to wrap things up with you, for fans and family and friends that come out and support these track programs throughout the course of the semester, what are a couple of characteristics or identities that you sort of hope these teams embrace and embody that, regardless of the results out there and during the meet, that the people that support this program can really count on with your athletes, meet in, meet out throughout the course of the semester?
Yeah, I just hope they kind of, just kind of have this resilient attitude towards their development and progression and training, and, even like coming back from injuries and things like that, just to kind of stay positive, focused, and, resilient through the whole process, because track is a lot of work. And I always kind of feel like you get out of it what you put into it, so you can only fall back on natural talent for so far in this sport, and these two good examples of kids who've worked really hard. So yeah.
The Trinity University track and field program, again, the Tigers will be led once again as they head into the season by head coach Marcus Whitehead, along with senior Blair Walker on the men's side and senior Abby Bannon-Schneebeck on the women's side. Coach, Blair, Abby, thanks so much for joining us today, and best of luck as you head into the season.
Thank you.
Thank you.